You say you want to be great. You say you want to be the best. Then listen close, because I'm about to tell you the truth. Hard work alone won't get you there. Talent alone won't keep you there. You've got to train harder than the rest, but you've also got to work smarter than the best. You can lift 1,000 weights, run 100 miles, but if your mind ain't in the fight, you'll never win. Greatness isn't given, it's taken. It's earned in sweat and sacrifice in the moments when you're ready to quit, but you don't. Champions aren't made in the spotlight, they're made in the darkness when no one's watching. You want to stand tall? Then you better be ready to crawl, to struggle, to suffer, and still push forward. Because the one who trains harder and works smarter is the one who walks away victorious. Hard work is your foundation, but strategy is your weapon. Train your body, but sharpen your mind. Hard work builds the basis, the sweat, the struggle, the early mornings and the late nights. It's the endless drills, the aching muscles, and the days when you're running on nothing but heart. Hard work is what lays the bricks of success, one painful step at a time. But listen close, brute force alone won't win the war. Strength without strategy is like a powerful engine with no steering wheel. If you only train your body and not your mind, you'll be strong but not smart. Fast but not precise, tough but not tactical. Think like a champion, move like a master. It's not just about pushing yourself harder, it's about knowing when to push, where to push, and how to push. It's about learning your craft inside and out, understanding angles, timing, and control. The ones who win aren't just the strongest, they're the smartest. A fool throws punches without purpose. A champion knows when to strike. A fool exhausts himself in battle. A champion conserves energy and attacks when the moment is right. That's why you train your body so it can perform. But you sharpen your mind so it can outthink, outlast, and outfight the competition. Hard work gets you in the game, but strategy wins the game. So don't just train harder, train smarter. I just fight, study the fight. And when the time comes, you won't just step into the ring, you'll own it. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Fight through the pain and success will follow. Pain is the price of greatness. It's the fire that burns in your muscles, the exhaustion that makes you want to stop, the voice in your head whispering, take it easy. But pain is also the test of wall that stands between you and the next level. Pain fades. Regret doesn't. You can endure the pain now and grow stronger, or you can quit and carry the weight of what could have been. A few minutes of discomfort, a few hours of struggle, even a few years of sacrifice, none of it compares to the lifetime of satisfaction that comes from knowing you never gave up. Every champion has felt pain. Every great has faced moments of doubt. The difference between those who make it and those who don't, they push through when it hurt. They didn't stop when they were tired. They stopped when they were done. Pain is a sign that you're growing, that you're pushing beyond what you thought was possible. And on the other side of that pain, victory, success, a legacy that lasts forever. So when your body screams, when your mind begs for rest, remember this: pain is temporary, but quitting, that's forever. Fight through, and success will follow. The mind is the strongest muscle. If your head isn't in the fight, your body won't follow. Your muscles can be strong, your body can be conditioned, but if your mind is weak, none of that matters. The body follows the mind always. If your head isn't locked in, your feet won't move right, your hands won't strike with purpose, and your energy will fade before the fight even begins. Champions aren't just built in the gym, they're built in the mind. Every battle is won or lost before it even starts, in your thoughts, in your confidence, in your belief. If you don't think you can win, you've already lost. But if you walk in knowing you're the best, you've already won half the fight. Doubt is your real opponent. It whispers you're not strong enough. You're not ready. But doubt is a liar. When you train your mind to be stronger than your excuses, nothing can break you. When your mind says, I can't, your body responds. When your mind says, keep going, your legs keep moving. The mind is the control center. Train it like you train your body. Feed it with discipline. Strengthen it with focus. Condition it with unshakable confidence. Because when your mind is unbreakable, your body becomes unstoppable. So ask yourself, is your head in the fight? Because if it's not, your body won't follow. But if it is, then nothing can stand in your way. You don't rise to the occasion, you sink to your level of preparation. Train like your life depends on it. People love to believe that when a big moment comes, They'll just step up, flip a switch, and deliver their best performance. But that's a lie. Pressure doesn't create champions, it reveals them. When the lights are on, when the stakes are high, when the challenge is staring you in the face, you don't magically rise above your limits. You fall back on your training. You operate at the level you've drilled into yourself day after day when no one was watching. A soldier doesn't become a warrior in battle, he becomes one in training. A fighter doesn't suddenly become great in the ring, he became great in the dark hours in the gym when it was just him, his sweat, and his will. That's why you train like your life depends on it. Because in the heat of the moment, there's no time to think, no time to wish you had worked harder. There is only action. And that action will be exactly what you've prepared for. You don't get lucky, you get ready. You don't hope for success, you train for it. You don't gamble with greatness, you earn it through repetition, through discipline, through suffering when others will quit. So, if you want to dominate when it counts, there's only one way: prepare like a champion. Train like your life depends on it, because when the moment comes, you won't rise to the occasion, you'll sink to your level of preparation. If you want to be the best, you must outwork the rest. But remember, smart work beats blind effort. Everybody wants to be the best, but not everybody is willing to pay the price. You can't wish for greatness, you have to work for it. You have to outtrain, outthink, and outlast everyone standing in your way, the ones at the top. They didn't get there by luck. They got there because they refused to be outworked. But here's the truth: hard work alone isn't enough. You can run 1,000 pounds or throw 1,000 punches, but if you're not training with purpose, you're just burning energy. Blind effort is wasted effort. The best don't just work harder, they work smarter. They study their craft. They learn the angles, the techniques, the weaknesses of their opponents. They rest when they need to so they can push harder when it matters. They train with intention, not just intensity. A fool swings wildly until he's exhausted. A champion studies the fight, lands the right punch at the right time, and finishes strong. A fool runs in circles. A champion moves forward with precision and purpose. So yes, you must outwork the rest. You must push harder, sweat more, and sacrifice what others won't. But never mistake movement for progress. Train with your mind as much as your body. Work harder, but also work smarter. Because the one who combines both, that's the one who wins. Rest isn't weakness, it's part of the strategy. Train smart so you don't burn out before the fight begins. Too many people think pushing harder, longer, and faster is the only way to the top. They believe rest is for the weak, that slowing down means falling behind. But let me tell you something: rest isn't weakness. Rest is a weapon. And if you don't use it wisely, you'll break before you ever reach the fight. A warrior doesn't charge into battle exhausted. A fighter doesn't step into the ring on dead legs. A mind that never rests becomes clouded, slow, and sloppy. Your body is the machine, and rest is the fuel. Without it, you don't get stronger, you break down. The great ones don't just train hard, they train smart. They know when to push, and they know when to step back. They recover so they can go harder when it truly counts. They rest so their mind stays sharp, their body stays fast, and their power never fades when they need it most. Overtraining is just as dangerous as undertraining. If you burn yourself out in practice, you'll have nothing left for the fight. If you give your muscles time to rebuild, they won't grow. If you don't give your mind time to reset, your focus will crumble when the pressure is on. Rest isn't quitting. Rest is reloading. Rest is sharpening the blade so it cuts deeper, moves faster, and lasts longer. Champions don't train until they're empty. They train until they're ready. So push yourself. Give everything you have. But never mistake exhaustion for effort. Because the goal isn't just to train hard, it's to show up on fight night ready to dominate. Every rep, every step, every sweat counts. There are no wasted moments in the pursuit of greatness. Every time you train, every time you push through exhaustion, every time you give that extra inch, it all matters. Nothing is wasted. Every rep strengthens your body. Every step conditions your endurance. Every drop of sweat is a down payment on your success. You don't get to pick which moments count and which don't. All of them count. The early mornings, the late nights, the days when you feel unstoppable, and the days when you can barely move, it's all part of the journey. Every drill, every movement, every sacrifice, it all adds up. Look at the greatest. They didn't take shortcuts. They didn't slack off when no one was watching. They understood that greatness isn't built in one moment, it's built in thousands of unseen moments. It's built in the reps that no one else wanted to do. It's built in the hours that others spent resting while they were still grinding. Most people quit when they don't see immediate results, but that's because they don't understand the process. Success isn't instant, it's earned over time through consistency, through discipline, through refusing to take a single second for granted. You never know which rep will make the difference. You never know which day will be the one that separates you from the rest. So treat every workout, every practice, every effort like it's the most important one, because in the pursuit of greatness, there are no wasted moments. Your biggest battle isn't against your opponent, it's against your own doubt. Conquer that and you conquer everything. People think the fight is against the opponent standing in front of them. They think the battle is against the competition, the critics, the doubters on the outside. But the truth is, the real fight is inside you. It's between you and that voice in your head telling you that you're not strong enough, fast enough, not good enough. Doubt is the most dangerous opponent you'll ever face. It doesn't come at you with fists, it comes at you with whispers. It creeps in when you're tired, when you're struggling, when you're about to break. It tells you to slow down, to give up, to settle for less. And if you listen to it, you lose before the fight even begins. But here's the secret: doubt is a liar. That voice in your head is only as strong as you allow it to be. Every time you push past your fear, every time you silence that voice with action, you weaken it. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel ready, you prove to yourself that doubt has no power over you. Champions aren't fearless, they just refuse to let fear control them. They step into the ring with confidence, not because they never had doubts, but because they defeated them before the fight even started. You can train your body, sharpen your skills, and study your opponent, but if you don't control your mind, none of it will matter. The fight isn't won with your hands, it's won with your belief. So stop letting doubt write your story. Take control. Believe in your preparation. Trust your work. Step into every battle knowing that the only thing standing between you and victory is you. Conquer that, and you don't just win fights, you win everything. Speed and power are nothing without control. A wild storm is dangerous, but a focused storm is unstoppable. Speed is a weapon. Power is a force. But without control, they are nothing more than wasted energy. A fighter who throws punches wildly might be strong, might be fast, but if he doesn't know when to strike, where to strike, and how to strike, he'll burn himself out before the fight is even over. A storm without direction destroys everything in its path, including itself. It's reckless, chaotic, and unpredictable. But a storm that is focused, that is unstoppable. A fighter who knows how to control his speed, how to harness his power, and how to channel his energy with precision, that's the one who wins. Think about the greatest warriors, the greatest athletes, the greatest champions. They don't waste movement. They don't swing wildly, hoping something lands. Every action is calculated. Every strike has a purpose. Every movement is intentional. Control is what separates the great from the reckless. It's what allows a champion to stay calm in the chaos, to move with precision instead of panic. Control is knowing when to explode and when to wait. It's knowing when to push forward and when to pull back. It's the discipline to use your power wisely, not wastefully. So don't just chase speed, don't just chase strength. Master control. Learn to direct your energy like a sharpened blade, not a swinging hammer. Because a wild fighter might be dangerous, but a focused one is unbeatable. Never train just to keep up, train to surpass, train to dominate, set the standard. Don't chase it. Some people train just enough to stay in the game. They do what's required, put in the minimum, and feel satisfied because they're keeping up with the competition. They don't follow the standard, they set it. If you train just to match your rivals, you'll always be one step behind. You're reacting instead of leading. But if you train to dominate, if you train to go beyond limits, you don't worry about keeping up because you're too busy pulling ahead. Excellence isn't about comparison. It's about separation. It's about working when others rest, pushing when others quit, and doing the things no one else is willing to do. That's how you become untouchable. A lion doesn't chase the pack, it leads it. A king doesn't follow trends, he sets them. You should train the same way. Don't measure yourself against what others are doing. Measure yourself against what's possible, against the best version of yourself, and then go beyond that. So don't just train hard, train harder than anyone else. Don't just show up with purpose. Don't just aim to keep up, aim to take over. Because those who settle for being good enough will always be chasing. But those who train to dominate, they are the ones who are chased. The best don't complain, they adjust. If it's tough, get tougher. If it's unfair, get smarter. Life isn't fair. The game isn't fair. The fight isn't fair. But champions don't waste time complaining. They don't cry about bad breaks or blame the system. They adapt, they adjust, and they keep moving forward. When things get tough, weak minds look for excuses. Strong minds look for solutions. A true champion doesn't back down. When the road gets rough, they rise up. They don't let obstacles stop them. They find another way through. If it's tough, get tougher. The world isn't going to hand you success. The competition won't step aside and let you win. You have to earn it. And that means pushing through pain, through setbacks, through every challenge that triggers you. The tougher it gets, the stronger you become. If it's unfair, get smarter. The system might be against you. The odds might be stacked high, but champions don't waste energy whining. They find a way to outthink, outmaneuver, and outwork every situation. If the rules don't favor them, they'll lose better than anyone else and use them to their advantage. If they can't go through the front door, they find a way through the back. Excuses are for people who accept defeat. Adjustments are for people who refuse to lose. So when life throws challenges your way, you have two choices: complain about it or conquer it, and the best. They always choose to conquer. Champions aren't built on talent alone. Talent is what you're given. Greatness is what you make. Some people are born with gifts, speed, strength, natural ability. But talent alone has never made a champion. Talent is just a starting point. Greatness is built through sweat, sacrifice, and relentless effort. Plenty of people have talent, but look around, where are they? Many of them never make it. Why? Because talent without work is nothing. It fades, it rusts, it gets beaten by those who refuse to stop grinding. Champions are built, not born. They take what they're given and mold it into something unstoppable. They show up earlier, stay later, and push harder. They don't rely on what comes easy. They develop what's hard. Greatness is earned in the struggle. It's built when you train past exhaustion, when you refuse to quit, when you sharpen your mind as much as your body. The greatest didn't just rely on talent. They turned themselves into something more through sheer will and work. You can't control the gifts you were born with, but you can control how hard you work. And when work meets talent, that's when legends are made. So don't settle for being gifted. Be relentless. Be disciplined. Be unstoppable. Because talent might open the door, but only hard work will carry you through it. The crowd cheers for a moment, but the grind lasts forever. Fall in love with the process, not the applause. When you win, when you succeed, the crowd will roar. They'll chant your name, pat you on the back, and celebrate your victory. But the applause, it fades. The cheers, they die down. The crowd moves on to the next big thing. But the grind never ends. The work, the sweat, the sacrifices, that's what's real. That's what stays with you long after the noise is gone. If you're chasing applause, you're chasing something temporary. If you're only working for the cheers, what happens when they stop? Well, you stop too. Champions don't train for the spotlight. They train for the love of the game, for the hunger to improve, for the satisfaction of knowing they gave everything. Fall in love with the process. Love the early mornings, the late nights, the lonely hours when no one is watching. Love the grind, because that's what separates the great from the good. The ones who rely on applause eventually fall off. The ones who commit to the process, they last. Do it for yourself. Do it because you refuse to be average. Do it because you know that true success isn't about a moment of glory. It's about a lifetime of dedication. Because in the end, the crowd will come and go, but the work is forever. Excuses don't win fights. If you're looking for a way out, you're not looking for victory. When the pressure is on, when the pain kicks in, when the challenge feels too big, that's when excuses start creeping in. It's too hard. I'm too tired. It's not fair. Those words might bring you comfort for a moment, but they won't bring you victory. Excuses don't train. Excuses don't sweat. Don't grind. Don't sacrifice. Excuses don't wake up early to put in extra work. Excuses don't push through the last round when your body is begging to stop. Excuses don't win fights fighters do. Every time you look for a way out, you're taking a step away from success. Because when you allow excuses to take over, you're telling yourself that quitting is an option. And champions, they don't give themselves options. They commit. They go all in. They don't look for an exit. They look for a way forward. There will always be a reason to stop, a reason to slow down, a reason to hold back. But champions don't focus on reasons. They focus on results. They push past pain, past fear, past doubt, because they know the only way to win is to fight through. So ask yourself, are you looking for a way out, or are you looking for victory? Because you can't have both. Choose now. No excuses, no exits. Just work, just win. Just win. When others rest, you rise. When others doubt, you believe. And when the moment comes, you are ready. Greatness isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the quiet moments, the early mornings, the late nights, the hours when no one is watching. While others hit snooze, you lace up your shoes. While they take a break, you take another step forward. The difference between a champion and everyone else isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's the willingness to do what others won't. When the competition slows down, you speed up. When they say, that's enough, you say one more. You don't just keep up, you pull ahead. And while they doubt, you believe. When they say it's impossible, you prove them wrong. When they question if you're strong enough, fast enough, good enough, you don't argue. You let your work speak for itself, because belief isn't just words, it's action. It's discipline. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you've put in the work. And then the moment comes, the bright lights, the big stage, the opportunity you've been waiting for. And while they hope they're ready, you know you are. Because you've already fought this battle in training. You've already pushed through the pain, silenced the doubt, and outworked every excuse. You don't need luck, you have preparation. You don't rise to the occasion, you rise to your level of training. So when others rest, rise. When others doubt, believe. And when the moment comes, step forward. Take what's yours and show the world that you were built for this. Now is your time, go take it. Everything you need to succeed is already inside you. The strength, the will, the fire, it's there. But no one can bring it out for you. No one can do the work for you. You have to want it. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. So stop waiting. Stop looking for an easy way, because there isn't one. Champions aren't chosen. They are made, built through sweat, through sacrifice, through the relentless refusal to quit. When the pain comes, push through it. When the doubt creeps in, silence it. When others rest, rise. Because the ones who go the extra mile, the ones who give more than they take, the ones who refuse to be average, those are the ones who make history. Now is your time. Go take it.